we're back. Maybe. See if anybody rolls in. Oh, good. Danny's here. We can get started. What, kiddo? I think we're back up and running. Let me see what Jojo wants. Jojo? Jojo was calling me. No. Jojo wants to VR. Goofy Foot, we're back, yeah. Hockey Town. Cool, people are finding me again. I'm still wanting to watch. Shocking. It looks like it was not hardware related, it was software. You can never trust software. I never trust a 1 or a 0. All right. Back at it. Start. Can you see this little tool here? Where is it? Nope, don't. That ain't the tool. That's just the thing that holds my... this tool. Focus in on that tool. Don't focus in on that knob that's in front of you. Turn it there. There we go. I can't see you guys too well, but you can at least see that. Joel, I have Space Invaders. TMNT and Time and Quicks on the way. Somebody stop me. I don't know, man. You better be careful. It's a slippery slope there. End up having an entire kid's college fund invested into that. So what we got here, got edge banding. And a lot of the time to find the colors that we need, it has to come in wider strips than the 1/2 inch that we need. And it's cheaper to get it this way now too. So got this little tool here that we run it through, and it cuts it down for us to the width that we need. Cuts it down to spec, to arcade 1-up width. Oh, let's spin you back around here for now. We'll do more later. Then we'll come over here to the edge bander. Now let me double check my build log over here. Make sure that I do these right. Got, which one needs class of 81, needs black on black. Must be a Galaga cab. So I need this is a standard. That's an 81, and that's an 81. 81's Pac-Man's Galaga. They all have the same bottom base shape. Here's the edge bander, and what we do now is, now that we have these strips, run it through the one side. This is like, it's got a well down here of hot melt. Runs it through these rollers that pull the hot melt up, heat it, And then we roll her onto the edge. And let me tell you, this is a lot less fun on the Nintendo cabs. A little bit more stressful and a little bit more work because got this giant big panel that you're running through there. And I think I need to try to rig this thing up with a foot pedal. So right now it just automatically spins. Let me trim this little bit off. Flush. Do the next one. So yeah, it just automatically spins the feed roller. And so if something starts to screw up, you gotta scramble to fix it. Because there's no emergency stop either. Well, there is, but it's like on the back of the machine. I don't understand the way the Chinese designed this little rig, because everything's on the back and makes it really hard to adjust and move anything around. But sure beats how I was doing it, which was could only get pre-glued stuff, and then I had to iron it on with a hot iron. And this isn't high quality, high-end thing either, so it requires some finagling at times, troubleshooting. Sometimes the glue stops feeding up through it. It also didn't come with the best specs and stuff like that as far as tolerances and things. I had to tear it apart, machine things down, and kind of finish the job for the company so that it could lay stuff on. The other problem I found is most of this stuff for edge banding and stuff is not exactly designed and set up for 1/2 inch width material. Everything's like 5/8 and 3/4 and 1 inch. So finding 1/2 inch edge banding is a challenge. Finding tools to apply it has been a challenge. I need some more black because I have a big buck hunter. I also have, these will work. I got these. Let's do these next. Here's a T2. That gets red. Try to move the camera here in a second so you can maybe see this from a different angle, a little closer. Kind of, it's like you can't really see a ton of stuff that's going on. Let's see if we can put you up here on the CNC while she ain't running. I gotta fire her up after this stuff. Get some more parts pumping out. That'll be a story for another time for you guys. I don't think we'll... Let's get this hose out of the way, maybe. That ain't gonna work. How about up here? All right. And pull you over here for maybe a little over the shoulder action. There we go. How's that? See, catch up on the chat a little bit. There was a Class 81 riot. Well, I think it was a Galaga because he selected black edge banding. But I do have an option for a black edge band. I think, well, maybe Class A, yeah, Class A81 is black too, but he requested the black black on black side panels. 81 is a blue and black. What are we talking? What are we talking? You talking sports? Talking baseball? NFL. Joel, I want to get a KI Pro and have you edge band it for an NFL Blitz XL. I don't know about that. Here's, so we feed it through here. On this side. It comes out here. And we just follow it along. Gotta be careful to try to make sure it doesn't start coming up too high. That was the weird thing, like they couldn't even make this thing square when I got it. It left a gap on the bottom. Like, why would you do that? Like, even with all the adjustment and stuff, moving this side bed thing down, because one, I don't even know why it would have the adjustment, because you would think that every piece that somebody would want to run through this thing, they'd want it flush with whatever they're banding it to, but stupid thing wouldn't even go flush there. I don't know, sometimes gotta wonder. And I found you only want to run them through one way. You don't want them, so you want to vinyl everything first so that you can trim it out quicker and easier with a hobby knife like I was doing earlier. If you edge band it and then vinyl it, you don't get the visibility of the edge banding on the side unless you want to delicately, daintily trim your vinyl out in between, which I was doing at one point in time. So you want to vinyl it first, then edge band. So vinyl, trim, then the edge band. But you only want to run it with the vinyl up, because if you run it with the vinyl down, this bed gets hot, screws up your vinyl. Trying to find the exact right speed and process and adjustments of the stuff inside. They don't give you exactly any instructions with it either. So you gotta, there's little fins and stuff like that that are kind of scraping down the glue to a certain depth on the rollers to kind of control how much glue you get. But they only work so well sometimes as well. So you get a little excess glue. It's a process. Get some excess glue on there. And sometimes the fins get clogged up or something. You don't get any glue coming out at all. Usually that happens about halfway through a shell. You don't realize it until you're done and you see it all peeling up. I hesitated about the whole idea of live streaming some builds, because why would you want to give away your trade secrets and stuff like that? But starting to realize that if anybody wants to do this themselves, have at it. Go ahead and try. It's a little bit more of a process than you would think. Doing one off like you're, as a hobby and for fun, building your own cab, that's one thing. Saving yourself time. Hopefully watching this and stuff, you guys can get some tips and tricks on how to build your own cabs and stuff. But as far as starting a business where you're trying to pump these bad boys out and stuff, that's a whole nother animal, I think. If anybody else wants to try it and copy my process, have at it. My process is probably not the best process. I'm still refining it and figuring it out as I go, and it's amateurish, I'm sure, but doing the best I can with the budget I got. And like I said, always be progressing, always level up, always get better. So where and when I can find a new thing in the process, I do. And I think that's a red. Yep, a standard red. So my guess is this is an NBA Jam. Booster. Booster? Nobody likes Booster. What's that from? Anybody know? Should be fresh in people's minds right now because it's a holiday thing. Why is this one on the ground? That I can use that. Nobody? Bueller? Jingle All the Way. Oh, right as soon as I said it. That's cheating, though. Producer knows because I say it all the time in the house. I got JoJo saying it too. Now, that's one of my ticks. Repeating lines and phrases. I've just recently realized, even from decades ago, and things that nobody would get or understand. And it's not just lines and phrases from movies and music. Some of it's lines and phrases from people of my past. Some of it's phrases that producer has said by just once in our 16 years of being together, but you get carried out as a catchphrase of mine or something. I'm going to repeat, mimic them. It's Jingle All the Way, though. Got stuck in my head, I guess, from Christmas time. Poor Booster. I bet people would have liked him more if he wasn't pink. Should dye his hair. Maybe get highlights or something. Make himself look a little bit more tough. Even if it was purple highlights, I think that would work. Booster could pull off purple highlights in his pink hair, right? Yeah, that was why it's a little wide. Trim it up a little bit so it doesn't catch on carpet and get ripped off on somebody. We're nearing the end. I got a big buck to do, and then we'll be good as far as edge banding for now, I think. Unless I got something else to do, but it's my other problem is I have issues with prioritization and get distracted easily. So I'm kind of, I can figure out what needs to be done and what's important, but then I get distracted along the way. I start off working on the thing that's most important, but when I go to grab a tool or something to work on that or to progress it halfway through the project, I'll see something else. Shiny object, another project. I'm like, oh, I can do that real quick. And you start doing that, and I see another thing. By the end of the day, I'm like 16 projects in, and the first one that I went and started still ain't done. That was priority. By that time, I completely forgot about it till the end of the day. I need some black scissors. Is that a better view? I don't think I can zoom you in any closer without goofing around with. James is here. He's typing something. Anything to Corner Cade's probably funny. Welcome to Wisconsin, Madison. Kickback is my main place. We got 10 people or more. It doesn't update too well, it seems. Like when you guys first got here, it was telling me there was like one person viewing, but there was like 5 guys in the chat and stuff. Telling me right now we got 12 people in the house though. Glad I could put together a place for everybody to hang out. Hopefully I'm not boring people too much with my random talk. And some of this is a little interesting. Some behind the scenes action. Mostly just kind of fun to hang out with you guys. Not exactly a people person, but this distance, me, you in Madison, Wisconsin, that's a good distance for hanging out, having a conversation. I think I can do people from that distance. It's fun to have a little conversation or interaction in the shop sometimes. Besides me and Cal, I mean, I only can find so much to talk about every day. Surprised we haven't seen Stock Jock jump in the chat today. He's one of the ones that's been all over me doing this. He must be busy on his Saturday morning. Well, I guess it ain't morning anymore. To me, it's morning because it's one of the things I discovered. I am a second shift guy. Way more productive in the late afternoon, evening, nighttime. So I have slowly been switching over. If you haven't noticed, a lot of the time when I'm streaming, it's more around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I'm streaming in the shop. That's when I'm really starting to get some focus and energy and stuff. working till 2, 3, sometimes 4 in the morning. But I also need my sleep too, so I've been getting up till 10, 11 o'clock. But it's okay, because the boss has been letting me work that schedule. It's kind of the first shift I ever worked right out of high school, was second shift. Didn't realize how much I actually enjoyed it, and I worked as a DNR park ranger out of high school for state park. I worked second shift, and the evening when I got there, I'd be checking people in, and then at night we'd be patrolling the campground, keeping all the hooligans in check. And then I'd come home around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and watch American Chopper. That was brand new at the time. And I thought that was the greatest, coolest thing ever. That was my jam. All right. Be right back. I'm going to check and make sure I didn't leave anything out there that I can edge band before I turn this off. Let's see. What you doing, Cal? You want to go inside? Sitting by the door. There you go. I got one more panel I could edge band, but like I said, I ran out of vinyl, so its mate isn't ready to be edge banded. So I think I'm gonna shut this down for now. This is the next step. Where are we at? Check out the chat before I move to the next step. Yeah, that's for sure, Kirby. I don't know though. Being around the right people, it's true, but I even get a little overwhelmed with my boys, and my wife are the right people too, and my family, but I get overwhelmed sometimes with them and need to just have my alone personal space, the silence and working with my hands. Now we put the feet on. This is my little guy that I built for this. These are obviously everybody knows what the feet look like, right? So these little pincher dudes. Well, that holds that to keep me from smashing my fingers, because these aren't very long. And I conveniently got this little area that is recessed on my workbench, because we're really going off topic, not really off topic, but this is, I built this bench. Well, the bench is a Harbor Freight bench, and it was one of my workbenches that I used. I got it on wheels so I could move it around in here because it's kind of limited space, but I ended up adding a piece on the top of this. And what we do here is these are our center pieces that have the cam lock holes in them. But as you can see, we don't have any holes for them to slide in. CNC only drills in one direction. So to put the holes in the side, I built this to hold my boards, and we put a bunch of them in there. And then this is a dowling joiner, and I got these marks on here to know where to line it up. Push this, turn it on and push it in, and it drills holes, and it drills, see if you can come out, see if we can show you that. It drills 2 holes at once. Oop. 2 holes. That speeds the process up a lot quicker. When I first started doing risers, for this little jig, and you drill them all by hand with a hand drill. That got old fast. All that to say, built this, and I only had this sheet so long, but it's worked out because we got the hooks in the sides for the curved edges. That allows these to sit flat enough so I'm not smashing them into the workbench when I am the little shoe cobbler. Here putting the feet in. I'd love to find a way to automate this a little quicker, but I don't know. Cool to have a little nail gun that would shoot these feet into the bottoms. Mode, it was good hanging out with you the other night. I pulled up your charity event. I am planning to share it on my Facebook page with everyone. I was just holding off because it looked like, I don't know, it didn't have any donations yet, so I didn't want people to be thrown off by the 0 number and stuff. So just gonna share it soon. I love that you do that. If there's any way I can help you out with it and help out with that, more than willing to help. I have what?
I don't know how this goes in this box. I just can't figure out how it goes in this box.
I think it would go like this.
I would think, but it doesn't work.
We gotta move the little propeller, I think, or something like that.
I don't want to break it. You do it.
Feet up like it's gotta go. There somehow.
I know. I tried flipping it the other way and doing it first on this side, and I couldn't figure it out.
Here's the struggle we got right now, guys. It's gotta go like this, maybe. And then are you sure this is the box for it?
It's the picture. What's on the box?
And this. I love my Christmas village, guys. My aunt kind of grandmother to me growing up had a Christmas village. She gave it to me just before she passed away. always one of the highlight things of Christmas. I add to it every year. It's expanded to its a Christmas town and a Christmas village. How can this shouldn't be that complicated. It's a box. It's a box. But so I've added to it and it's expanded quite a bit over the years now. And like I said, it's a Christmas town and a Christmas village now. So the town and the village, oh crap. Broke the wheel off. I figured it out, I think. After no, that was not our prerequisite.
No, don't do it right now. It's gonna take forever to dry.
I got super glue. Look it. I had to go through. Hey, I mean, even the cutouts are there. It's completely obvious, Kara. I don't know how you couldn't figure that out. So, yeah. I got a Christmas town and a Christmas village. And I thought it would be fun to have an airport at each of them. So there's an airport at each of them because they're at different places in the house because it's expanded so much. And I got a plane that I put up in between on like a bookshelf type thing to make it look like there's a plane flying between the two. But it's been fun adding to it, especially adding my own touch to it. She was all proud of it, I think, because it was kind of, what is the show? The movie. I'm drawing a blank. Christmas movie. And it's all kind of based off of that. So she was always collecting houses and stuff for that village. Not all of them, but I discovered a couple years ago that they had an arcade available for it and a game store available for it. So I've been adding my own touches to it. It's a Wonderful Life. That's it. It's not What's for Lunch. It's a Wonderful Life. What's for lunch, Joel? I don't know. I forgot that it was lunchtime. That's one of my problems here when I get going. I forget to eat. Forget about lunch. But tonight, for dinner, it's wings. Making wings. We're having a little bit of a fun little party tonight. Producer, me, and the boys. Tonight is Real American Freestyle. Big event. Oh, the 5th event. On, I guess it's on Fox Nation. I don't really watch Fox Nation, but I signed up for the free trial last night so that I can watch it free tonight. We are having a big event where we're going to watch that and have like a mini Super Bowl party, basically. And I'll watch it. We're going to make wings, making chicken nuggies for the boys. And we're going to make root beer floats. And it's going to be a grand, good old time. Because you got to take a little bit of time off every once in a while, too. My boys are only young once, and they keep growing and getting bigger. Wes is now officially potty trained, I think. He's wearing big boy undies, and he hasn't had any accidents in weeks. He's been going by himself without reminders. I don't like it. Told him to go poop in his pants, because I don't want him to grow up and get bigger. He's my little baby boy. And I think he's going to be my last one, so trying to enjoy the time as much as possible. JoJo all of a sudden, out of nowhere, grew up on me too. That's when he went to school. Don't send the kids to school. They grow up fast. He was just this little tiny guy. Dropped him off at, that was one of the worst days ever, dropping him off at kindergarten and leaving him behind. Not being there to protect him. Let's see here. Plug you back in. How did we do on battery life? Oh, we're over half battery still. Good. Good to know. All right. I'm going to go grab those boosters. And we'll finish them up and get them out of the way. And then we'll be ready to move on to packing for the day. Do some packing, throw some parts on the machines and CNCs. And that will be that. Anybody else watching Real American Freestyle tonight? I doubt it. We're big into our wrestling. I was a big wrestler all my life. My dad was a wrestler. I didn't encourage the boys. Joe, I never even mentioned it. JoJo came home. That was one good thing about kindergarten, I guess. JoJo came home one day and one of his friends at school talking about wrestling. I guess his older brother was a wrestler. Was telling him about it. JoJo came home from school. Dad, I want to do wrestling. I was like, yes. Like, all right. I was like, unfortunately, it's March and the season just ended. But we did find some after-season programs. So we kind of got into it a little bit in the spring. He's not been a big sports kid, really, but he really, for some reason, I was surprised, enjoyed it. So, and Wes, the minute he saw it, he was all over it. Even though he wasn't technically old enough to do it, he's pretty serious about it. And they've adopted him into the program. So we kind of let him, they bought him a shirt and everything, and they let him join in practices. He actually wrestles with some of the boys and stuff. I help out coach in the little kids program, and so far I'm excited that my boys are excited with it and they share, because that's something that I'm even more passionate about than video games and arcades. But it wasn't something I wanted to push on them either. Might be one of the few people that has a wrestling mat in their living room. Where is that guy? Go. What are you doing to me, Smalls? There we go. So even building these boosters is a little bit of a process. As simple as they look. As we were talking last night I only caught a small portion of Super Game Room Dudes last night. I gotta go back and rewatch it. So we were talking on there. Some of this stuff seems easy and to make. But it takes time. Even with semi-fancy tools and stuff to help speed you along. And unfortunately, some of us got to make a living off of it, and we can't do all this for free, so it's a bit of a process. These are a bit more easier than monitors like we were discussing last night. Monitors are... I had never really built a monitor before from scratch. Always just used one-ups or ordered buy stuff. Because again, I mean, I'm in the camp, I can build this stuff, but a lot of the time I got to weigh it out, like where's my time best spent? Even before, when I was doing this stuff as a hobby, it's like if somebody else is doing it and doing a good job, I got a long enough list of projects and stuff. So sometimes it's starting to realize them later in my life. It's okay and sometimes worth it in the end to pay somebody else to do something you think you can do. Well, you do other stuff you know you can do. Let them do it and make sure it's done right and quicker. And yeah, it's going to cost you, but to what extent is it going to really cost you? Because I don't know about you guys, but if it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Some of the easiest, most simplest tasks turn into all-day projects sometimes. Things breaking and going wrong and everything fighting against you. So I ended up here where I'm at right now as far as the backup of orders and the delay on the cabs. Everything fighting me at once. But monitors seem pretty easy and straightforward to build. And I was like, I should knock those out pretty quick. And I don't need to charge that much for it. I'll just actually bundle that into the cost, try to keep costs down for everybody, and just charge for materials. Quickly learned that was not a good idea. They took a lot longer than I thought, just a piece of wood you'd think and cut out on a CNC and drop a monitor in, but no. I had custom brackets made even to speed things up for the monitors to mount them. Mount the Dells just like one-ups inside of them. The big process is the plexi, building and making the plexi for the fronts and getting that right. There's little steps in the process I wish I could just kind of skip and avoid. They're quite daunting and I almost want to put them off. It's like jumping into a cold pool. You don't really want to. So you hesitate on it for the longest time, but I guess once it's done, you realize it wasn't as bad as you thought, or it ends up being kind of nice and refreshing. That's a poor example because I don't think building a monitor is refreshing at the end. But it is a relief to have a pile of them done and knowing, all right, I don't need to do these for a little while and start moving cabs again. All righty. It's our last booster. Where are we at here? Still got some guys hanging out, it looks like. Breakfast? What? Oh, that was producer. I thought Cornercade was asking about breakfast. Galloping Ghost is a nice Merlin. It's fun. Good experience. I don't know. Seems I'm not sure how much time we'll have Danny to be doing. At least for me, I don't know. Gonna have my whole family down there possibly. I'm excited to see everybody though. I think Moat's gonna be there and Phil. Sounds like a lot of people from out of the area are gonna be coming in too. James. And I don't know how we pulled it together, but because it wasn't really planned. We weren't planning on it, but all of a sudden somebody was like, I think I'm going to go to this. Another guy was, I'm going to go to this. I think we're going to have pretty much the whole Arcades Anonymous crew there. So that'll be cool. See and catch up with everybody again in person. I'm excited to go, though. I've been wanting to go for a few years, but always put it off planning and getting tickets and stuff like that because I've hesitated just due to the time that it is. Like, still winter at that point, and driving there around the lake along West Michigan, then through Chicago. Those are two of the worst places as far as snow and stuff. Well, you never know what the weather is going to be like. Hopefully it holds off and is good for us. Oh, I forgot. I wonder if that's here yet. Should be. Of course, we had a substitute yesterday for the mail as well, so they were way late. Let's see if they dropped off mail today. Said it was supposed to be out for delivery. Oh, let down. Nothing yet. Some of the material that make my marquee trim is supposed to be here today. I'm excited to get that and to see if it's going to work, because that's going to be cool. I'm excited. Anytime I can make the cabs a little bit better and stuff, I'm excited. So to add the marquee metal bezel trim, I think is going to be really cool. To add the recessed bezel for kind of the more of a CRT look. I'm really excited about that for the monitors. And it might eliminate a few of the painful steps that I currently have with putting those together. So that's even more exciting. That might be the thing I'm most excited for. Let's see, where am I going to put these? That's the next thing, is figuring out space. But
Well, you go out for lunch because I'm getting pounded to feed you.
by Danny, you know you don't have to listen to, nobody listens to Danny, so.
The kids are pretty much. You want me to make
Pizza?
You want pizza?
Sure.
We didn't have it last night, so that's fair. Sabrine?
Sure. It's one of our go-tos is pizza, frozen Tombstone, and because we get it cheap at our employee store, a couple bucks. So the white big guy, I think, what is it? Same Spirits was commenting about it on one of the last streams. Big freezer, the top part of it, freezer, big top part of it is pretty much always stocked with frozen pizzas. And the boys love the Jack's cheese and pepperoni. We eat pizza a couple nights a week, mostly by their request. As most of you know, it's hard enough to get kids to eat just about anything. So, oh man, my legs. I am out of shape, guys. I did warm-ups, circle warm-ups and stuff with the kids on Thursday, and my quads are killing me. It's so sore the last couple days. It's kind of sad and depressing. All right, so there's some boosters and risers that I can get packed up to go out on Monday. Hopefully Monday we'll get that vinyl in, and later in the week we'll be able to knock out the pile of other ones that we got going on. Now we can move on to packing and cabs, things like that. Even taking the break and taking the rest, guys, I can't completely rest. I do plan on, while we're watching the wrestling event tonight, oh man, I've been stretching it out and like rubbing my quads and like karate chopping them, and it is rough. I'm so out of shape. I put on about 100 pounds since high school and where I used to wrestle. While we're watching the wrestling event tonight, that is, I'm still not going to be completely taking the time off. I'm probably going to be putting together instruction manuals, because I printed them, but they got to be rearranged and folded and then stapled.
Don't forget, Monday I have that appointment to get the airbag done. So either I'm taking the Suburban or you guys take my appointment.
You can take it, I don't care. These are our instruction manuals. Folded, stapled. Added a QR code now so that you can scan and look up the most latest ones. Putting those on my Discord, but printed off a pile of the manuals, because I think this is going to be not the definitive, but it's at least a more refined. It's not a draft anymore that I was sharing out and giving to people. This sucks though. This was that other side panel that every once in a while you get them going through the laminator and you end up with this garbage, and it don't really work out of there, I don't think. This one that would have been finished and able to send out, can't, because the vinyl is wrecked on it, and this was where I ran out of vinyl. Just enough to do this piece and a back kick plate area for outrun rider when I ran out. So I'll put it and its mate over here. You still there, Hockey Town? By the way, you commented a little while ago, but wondering if you're still there. I got dust mask, okay? I see you got my mom all like, she was emailing producer or text messaging producer afterward or later in the day, telling her, does Joey have dust masks? You promised me you'll make him wear them. You got her all upset thinking, well, I got dust masks. See, this is my main big guy, especially when I'm doing, the and dowel pin stuff, because when I'm doing those, after I cut those, then the pieces are pretty much all done. Got the air compressor, because the CNC doesn't pull out all the dust and stuff like that out of the board. So I use an air compressor to blow out all the holes and stuff. There's dust and everything everywhere. So this is one thing that I do. I don't use it all the time, I'll be honest. I forget. And it's kind of bulky and heavy and, cumbersome. But I have a dust collection system that's sucking dust up from the CNCs and from the doweler. And then I have some air filtration dust systems in the ceiling too, so up on the top. So trying with the dust a bit, but I always could do better. I don't wear the mask as much as I should, but I end up paying for it too. Get a sore throat and all kinds of nasty stuff. I know, but thanks. My mom saw that comment that you posted on there, and she's been all freaking out ever since. I appreciate that, buddy. You still thinking about making a limited run Wacko cab down the road? I really want to. Personally, I think that one would be fun and cool, and I know nobody's gonna make a Wacko. It's not a very fun game, but it's just would be a fun cabinet to build, just to prove to myself that I could build it. It's got a little complexity to it with some of the way that the things are tilted and everything, that you can't just run it through straight cuts and stuff. So it's one of the reasons I'm pretty sure nobody would ever make it. And it just wasn't popular. But to me, I just can't help but think, how cool would that be in a home arcade game room? Just sitting in there, I think that would just finish off anybody's game room. Even though I don't think anybody would ever want to play it, just anybody that walks in, that would be a conversation piece, to me, I think. People that walk into somebody's game room and see a 3/4 scale Wacko, you can't tell me that they're not going to be drawn to it and ask questions and just kind of be like, man, that's odd, weird, crazy, cool. That's not from the dust. Oh, man. All right. It's Outrun. Pretty boring looking on that side. Outrun kick plate. Put the stuff in there for the Thrustmaster mounting holes for the buy stuff upgrades and stuff. This goes back behind the front kick plate to mount your pedals and stuff too. You got a hole here for the cords to pass through and everything. Ooh, and I just caught, I didn't put my dowel holes on the sides. What do we got? Zero Redux is back. He may never have went anywhere. Maybe he just went quiet. Me too. I'm a unique. I'm not a person that kind of falls in line and goes with what's trendy. I don't have an iPhone. I don't drive a Jeep. I don't wear Columbia clothes. I'm not a trendy person. I like unique, custom. I had a Hummer H3 for a while because I loved them. Loved the look of them and stuff. Most of the cars and things I drive have always been. Not until recently we got the Suburban, and I got that because it was just like, all right, I've had enough with car problems. I want something that I don't have to pay through the nose to get fixed, that anybody can fix, is reliable. The Hummer was expensive to fix anytime something went wrong on it. Got most of the stuff we have is stuff that's been like discontinued, and my wife wanted sorry guys, wanted a Volkswagen Touareg. I was kind of against that because I'm not a foreign import guy. Never have. I'm always been a domestic car person. So I wasn't too excited about that. Part of the deal was like, all right, I'm not going to know how to work on it and do much on it. So that's going to be on you to figure out and arrange and take care of it. Now the new deal is that I get to pick out every car. She doesn't want to have any say in it because that thing has turned into a whole nother animal of itself. They only made those for a short period of time. It's been expensive to fix. Hasn't had tons of problems, but the problems it's had, they've been unique, difficult, and expensive. Let's see, where are we at? Been streaming for like 2 hours now. Count this and the last one. I have a lung biopsy coming up. I'm not a smoker. All I know is what it's from. I hear you, man. It's one thing I do worry about a little bit, I guess, especially now. I've always had the opinion in some ways that I don't want to live forever, especially past few years and stuff. It was like, yeah, no sense in trying to live forever. And wait a minute, what's that? Guys, good news. I forgot. This is black glossy vinyl that I can run through the laminator. Guys, we're back. Home Arcade's back, baby. I forgot that was over there. This is, I got matte. This is a matte with like a little bit of a texture on it, so I use that for the decks. I like the feel and texture of it. And then I got a clear laminate that has, it's a matte laminate that has a texture to it too, that I really like. I know it's a little foggy looking, like as Quarter Deck thought it was kind of just protective to be peeled off, but I was like, oh, don't peel that off. That's permanent. I didn't want that coming off. But that's the good stuff. It's not the cheap stuff that I don't know what I did with the cheap stuff. I threw it away, or I don't know where the cheap stuff actually is, because it's still around here, but it's not. It's this is the Orful.
Is it in the box still?
It's not in the box. I think
Is it that one's there?
Is there? But that's brown.
Oh, I can't tell from here.
I don't know, but barely. Oh, it's back here. No, that's not it either. What is that? All right, hold on. This is it too, but it is on the Orful roll. This isn't it though. I can tell by the look of it. This is the crappy stuff. See how glossy it is too? And compared to this, even though this is a gloss, this is like extreme gloss. I never cared for it, but this is the cheap stuff. So I switched a year ago, guys. I was using this more expensive stuff, but I found this stuff that's like half the cost. It was like I figured vinyl is vinyl, but it ain't. I wasn't too happy with how glossy it was. It doesn't really look like the gloss that is on all the arcade 1-ups and stuff. So that was one thing that was a knock against it. And the next thing is that it bubbled and wouldn't, the adhesive that was on it or something wouldn't stick. Material itself was always like, brittle and cracking rather than, if you've ever worked with vinyl, it's supposed to have like some stretch to it and stuff. And it didn't.
Show me your wall of vinyl.
So I went back to the more expensive stuff. I knew I still had that cheap stuff around here, but I didn't want to use it. This was only like a 3/4 of a roll. That's why I remembered I didn't put it on the laminator. And I had it over here, and I was using it for kick plates for the Nintendo cabs, because to do kick plates, that's set up for a certain depth to do lamination. So I got it set up to just run boards through risers, because I'm constantly doing risers. Even side panels are a little almost too wide to run through it, because side panels are like 23.5 inches wide. The vinyl's 24 inches wide, and they taper, and the widest part's kind of in the middle. But as you're sending this big board through, you got to be like right on when you're running it through. Otherwise, you get just a little bit on the sides, and then gotta peel it all off. So usually the side panels, I roll this stuff out too and cut it and lay it up by hand. It's just easier, less scrap and waste. I do that with the kick panels, because the kick panels are those 1/8 inch boards, like on 1-ups. So I don't want to sit there and readjust the laminator every time I switch over and stuff. So just do those by hand is usually what we end up doing. I guess we could, let's switch this over real, not fully set it up, but at least get the roll out of my way. You know that it's there. The other part is remembering what direction this has got to feed through. So goes down, around. Gotta go this way. Which means this goes in through here. And bring it out here, I guess. Thanks. Thanks everybody for making sure I get fed and don't get starved and neglected by my wife.
You're not neglected.
I get back in the kitchen. I can get away with talking to her like that because we've been married 16 years now, and we both have realized that we're too far along in life to start over. So we're just kind of stuck. Just gotta feel it all the way out from here on out. No, we love each other. Some of us more than others. Focus. What am I doing now? What are we doing now? You guys want to hang out here still? 11 people still. We've been holding strong. Why are you still here? Go home. What do you think, guys? Should I keep streaming? Do you guys want to keep watching? Keep hearing? You had enough of this? I cut it, and I'm going to keep working regardless, but I don't know how much. I might start drifting away from the camera a bit more because I don't have. Been trying to find stuff I can do in front of here and talk with you guys. Let's see. Anyways, though, hopefully, I hope that goes okay, Hockey Town. Keep you in our thoughts and prayers, for sure. Hopefully, it ends up being nothing. You had all that pneumonia and stuff, too. Had a rough bout. Hopefully, everything's coming along and getting better. I did turn off the edge bander. Oh, that's right. I see where you're going with that. Yeah. Well, it's a little bit of a process to get the new junk on the laminator and get it all set up, so I'm going to work on that later. What would I have to do to get you to build a one-up cocktail riser? It's been on my list, but it's been on my list pretty low on priority. Something I wouldn't mind. I've had a few people ask about it. Big thing is I don't know too many people that have, well, which one do you have? The cocktail table. Okay, I have a pub table. And honestly, I want to cut my pub table down and lower it because it's another thing I've thought would be cool to offer. I got a big round glass top for it, so I can make it into an actual table because we have it in the living room. It's one of the things that is overflowed out of the game room. I've skinned it with some wood vinyl, so it kind of fits in a little bit more and looks a little bit more appropriate. And luckily, producer's been cool with letting it be in the living room. And it's a fun little thing to gather around with family and friends when we're hanging out in the living room, along with infinity table. But if I put the glass on it, I want to raise it up high enough off the top of it so that you can fit your hands comfortably under it and play. By doing that, it raises it up way too tall, so I want to lower it. But as far as cocktail, I don't know anybody that has any cocktail tables. I think we've talked about it a little bit in the past, you and I, and I need to get dimensions from you, what the width and depth is of it, and then also figure out what the curves are on the bottoms of it, how it would match up. The other thing I haven't had one to see, how easy is it to access the inside, or what the ridge is on the bottom of it. Be able to put something under there, like the rails on my risers and stuff that mount to it. Like, I don't know when that slides on and everything. I don't know. Didn't figure it out, but right now it's low on the list just with Nintendo, and then been trying to move more into the cabs. That's kind of the direct. I'd like to not have to rely on Arcade 1-Up products and to be improving theirs, and trying to always be improving somebody else's products, because as we've seen, they're not making cabs too much anymore and kind of going off into the sunset. Although we still have like Basic Fun and stuff around. People have already been asking me about like WrestleFest and risers and boosters for those. I don't know too many people with them either to be able to confirm what fits and stuff, but I don't know. I'd really like to be able to just rely on my own stuff too and have my own products. That's the thing I was excited about, doing the Nintendo shells and the Robotron and things. Even though it's a little bit more of a bigger animal and project, Risers and boosters are nice because you can pump those out a lot quicker. It's a lot more to the cabs, but it's a lot more fun too. I like having the mixture of all the different areas of components and stuff, having the hardware in it, of the joysticks, but then also the Pi aspect. And as much as I say I dislike the monitors, it's still kind of fun to design that stuff up, and I like problem solving and designing and fixing things and improving it. So once I get going, like even the risers and boosters are not as interested in making them anymore because it's kind of been there, done that. And now I've been pumping them out, and it's like, well, now it's just a process. But it's income and it's products and it's making people happy and helping people out. Glad I'm back to work. Gained all the weight I lost back. You were a skinny guy. You lost 30 pounds? I don't know how you would have lost 30 pounds. You didn't have 30 pounds to lose. So, yeah, it's not as precise, as far as like if you're, I don't know if you mean getting the dimensions and stuff to me. It's not as tricky. I've made some templates and stuff to be able to send to people to kind of explain and help them know what I need and almost like draw and trace. If you can trace kind of the edge corner and send it back to me, either through a scan or even through a picture, because I put little markers on there so that I know when you send it back and take a picture, as long as it's like straight on, I can scale it back to like 1 inch, and then I can trace your tracing and get it pretty close in the CAD system. So yeah, it's pretty easy to do. So we can connect when I have a little bit of free time. I can send you the templates and you can get me some info back on them and we can go from there. Just need a tape measure and my template to trace and send back to me. And important thing is getting the curve right on the edges so it will mate up, and then knowing the exact length of the panel, I can then move those curves to those lengths and it's a straight line between. So but making sure it all goes together and buttons up right is a whole nother thing, because I don't have one to look at to really see and figure out kind of how things would. It's one thing to match it up so it looks cosmetically right, but then to have it so that it sets on it and locates and is locked in place and not going to fall off is another thing. So whether they have a board underneath there and how much space they have on the board and how we're going to lock and fix it to that's a little bit more complicated. But even if you could flip it over and take some pictures, or flip it on its kind of angle it on its side and get some pictures underneath so I can see what's going on under there and start to think about that would be handy too. Yeah, AI can do just about anything anymore, it seems. I always thought my job as like a creator, an artist, and a designer would be one of the last things that would go from AI and robots when they take over the world, but surprisingly, it seems to be the first thing that's getting taken. They just can't figure out how many fingers to put on a hand, but apart from that, they can make some pretty sweet pictures. But what are we going to do? Still holding strong. You guys want to hang out longer? What do we? What do I still got here I can work on? Got those wrapped up. Guess we can start gathering up Terry's stuff. See what we need. Where'd your clipboard go? Clipboard. Because I'm the petty functionary with the clipboard, bitch. You know what that's from? My checklist. Make sure we remember everything. So, I already bundled and packed up side panel 1, side panel 2, base panel 1, base panel 2. Those are all in and ready to go. Let's see. What I need to do is clear off my spot for this stuff. It's a problem. I don't know if you guys have the same problem as me, but anytime you end up with a flat surface, it doesn't stay. Where are you? It doesn't stay cleared off very long, even by my own doings. You don't need to look at that. Why did you slow down? This is my shipping area for the most part, but packed up a bunch of stuff around it, not using it. Need to get some of my stuff out of my way.
Jojo or Wes said the yogurt drink made fruit still funny.
I think it might be going. Might be turning. Got some vinyl here for own personal project. Redoing my quarter scale wall. Got some new shelves and stuff to put up. I got this to build my shelves. It is kind of like looks kind of concrete like. So I'm going to put that down over my shelf. It's a vinyl adhesive. So we're going to laminate that on top of the shelf. So then it will look like concrete. And then I got some of those arcade carpet mats and stuff like that too to put on it, but show through in the spaces. Look like concrete. And I got some of their brick wall stuff that Numbskull does and things that I'm going to put up on the back and do all that with. But along with some other cool ideas I got for it as well. It's going to be a couple shelves. I think what I'm going to do is one of the shelves cut out. I'm going to do it about 18 inches deep. One of the shelves I'm going to probably cut out the back area, 3D print kind of a stairwell. So it looks like it's kind of a cutaway of a multi-level arcade. Getting into the diorama thing, I guess. I got some quarter scale turtles and stuff that are playing the arcades and stuff. So be fun just to kind of mess around and make a little scene out of it, I guess. Share some pictures and video of it once I get it done for people who are into that sort of thing. There's a prototype for bezel. Put that there. I guess we don't need to be that high up either. All right, this. What do we got? That's vertical. Pretty sure I better double check. Carrie wants a horizontal. because his is a Popeye. So that's going to be his. I got to get this stuff out of my way too. What do we got? Foam. Got a Build-A-Cade in. Got a racing wheel. Going to, got some plans and thoughts for this. It's not going to, like I said, I like everything custom and stuff, so none of this is probably going to stay original to how Glenn has it pieced together. Kind of got it for some of his parts and pieces and components on the inside, but I want to play around with cutting some little mini cabs maybe. Again, when I get time. I don't know. Drop this over here too. All right. Foam. This is all stuff built from incoming packages, but you guys know how much packing paper costs? Crazy. I've been poaching all the packing paper I can get from orders that come in from Amazon. It's like, all right, let Amazon pay for it. They're not really paying for it. You guys, I'll let you in on a little secret. Shipping materials and stuff like that, companies, that's not coming out of their pocket. That's wrapped up into the price what you guys are paying. Free shipping. Companies aren't eating that. Makes it more convenient because you know exactly what the price is going to be when before you get all the way to checkout and stuff, but I've been leaning towards the idea of doing a free shipping model too and just kind of making everything one set price. Still might, but where should I put monitors that are stacking up here? Need more space. Running out of space. Put these down here for now, I suppose. These are going to put these over here for now. These are Terry's now officially. They've been Stock Jock, he's here. Not notified. Sorry. We've been going at this for 2.5 hours too. Where you been? Building a grill. You could have been dual streaming. We could have been showing grill builds and cab builds. You got to give the people what they want, and they're missing out. Where did my box go for these now? Dang it. I need more space. Need more shelves. Need more space. We were doing this. This here. All right, I think I can stack some monitors up here for now. Get them out of the way. So this over here is my staging area for cab builds for the most part. We get our box built. Well, semi-built. It's not quite there yet, but it's got all of its stickers on it that it needs. And the next portion is going to be building the corner protectors and stuff for it. But right now, I think we'll start staging up a bit of the components and stuff. So grab Terry's clipboard. Big Bang Theory is what the quote from the clipboard earlier today was. Got distracted though. I don't know if anybody saw it. Wes just told me you can buy more at the store, duh. Did she go into a little bit of detail about that up here? I don't think so. She came out and told me that. Well, the kids, you know those of you that have kids, the little Danone yogurt bottles, we got those on hand all the time. I guess she gave one to Wes today, and he told her it made his tongue tingle. I think it's starting to turn. So I think she told him about it or something, and apparently he told her that you can buy more at the store. Duh. Do something else sometimes. Who's got Kev? Who's got kids or who's got little kids, Danny? You got to be a little bit more specific. All right, checking off stuff. We got a Z package and we got an X package. So we got both of those. We've got a monitor and we got the new dongle that we'll just leave there for the moment. Why? Oh, the bending down. It's rough being out of shape and getting old. I got some getting healthier work ahead of me so that I can keep up with these boys as they get older for wrestling. Didn't realize how far gone I am. I shouldn't be this sore after just doing the circle warm-ups and stuff. I was so gassed and winded, like we weren't even halfway through them either. Started to have to cheat a little bit and started coaching some people on how to do the stuff a little bit more rather than showing the kids and doing by example. Started walk around and coach some of the little kids and stuff a little bit more because I was sweating and gassed and really kind of having a rough time. Those are, I believe these are, back panels. So here's a bezel screen. Here is back panel. You can get as much from down here as possible so that I don't have to squat down again. Here's the top. All right, here we go. Here's a Y panel. Here's a bundle of D's. Wait a second. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. 2 D's, which we need, and an E is in that bundle. This is an A. We got a back panel here, which is the back panel 2. Where's that on the list? There it is. Back panel 2. We got a plexi. I think I just heard the mail. Where is it? Plexi. Coin door. I'm almost positive Terry ordered a coin door. Pretty sure it's an old school. Still in the chat, Terry? You order a old school coin door? Check my list. All right, here is the list. Alpha Wave. Terry, where are you, Terry? Old school coin door. Yes, what else is on here? Horizontal, Popeye, Let's Go, Build Choice, Deluxe, Shell, Bingo Bango. Alright. It's got a coin door. Check that off the list. Am I doing a good job? Cal says I'm doing a good job, just not quick enough. I gotta move quicker. I have Popeye deck already. Yep, I got a lot of this already down here, so let's pick from this pile and get it out of the way. Here is, we've got instructions, we've got a deck. Instructions aren't on the checklist. So should be maybe something we add. Here is control deck. Need the Plexi retainer. Popeye Plexi retainer. Where are you? Here is the stuff for a marquee. Here's one bar. There's coin door stuff there. Where's the other bar? There it is. All right. Where did that go? Oh, I left it down there. Here's coin door. Plexi retainer. Marquee. So there's that. Kick plate. Here's a back panel. There's a kick plate. Those there. Back panel 1, kick plate. Go back over here. See what else. Okay. Here's an eye. Here's front speaker. All right, here's C panel. K panel. I panel. It has the serial number on it. Make sure that that's what I wrote down. Yep. Here's I. What else? All this over here for the moment. We'll sort through this in a minute. Here is F, J, and a G. Now we need our H's and our B's. Is that? Oh, we got plenty of those too. Okay, good. Good, good. I need 2 H's, 3 B's. 2 H's, 3 B's. There. That is all of our panels checked off. All right. Sticks, buttons, encoder board are all included on the decks. It's another thing I did for you guys. I originally planned all this out. I was planning on throwing that stuff in a box and sending it to you for you to put together. I couldn't do that to you. So it all comes like a one-up, ready to go. Encoder board cable. I already had that in the pile down here. Let's pull stuff from the pile. Let's see. Power supply box. This isn't following me anymore. Let's see, encoder cable. So this is our power supply box. Get your power supply and your back piece here. Also put our little cleaning cloth in there because sorry about the dust. Wrench goes in there. That's the power supply kit box. LED dimmer. Let's grab all this stuff. We'll start checking some of this stuff off the list as well. Still ain't following me. Yeah. Am I moving too fast? Not that fast today. Power or LED dimmer stuff. We've got power supply cable and the monitor cable. Power cable, monitor cable. Sound kit I gotta still put together the stuff for that. Gather it up. Let's check off our hardware stuff. We've got side panel connection, base stand connection, cabinet wall safety, monitor mounting, I need back panel still yet. Let's see, where's the back panels? I need a coin door, I need a back panel. We need one of these hardware bundles. So here's our cam locks and cam posts. Here is our back panel, coin door mounting, and the power supply was in the power supply. So there's all of our hardware. Terry did not order a pie. So those are non-equitable words. No LED for the coin. And VGA cable, that's a whole new animal. So what? Thinking, what do we? That's right. VGA cable is now this dongle, and an HDMI cable. There's our HDMI cable. That back panel. What else? What am I missing now? Gotta put together our sound kit stuff, because that's a whole new refined bundle, so I don't have like a checklist stuff for that. But here is our isolator and our cable. And then what I need is this box here. Except I've been running into this problem, guys, with the stupid cables, and these seem to want to be a little delicate. Just putting this one in here. Came out. If you have any sound issues when you first put this thing together, double check and make sure all your cables are intact still. By cables, I mean just your little wires here. See, we lost our black wire here on the side. It came out regardless of how well I try to put these in. Sometimes they seem to want to slip out when they're being moved around a bunch, and these little quick terminals aren't really exactly meant to, I guess, handle stuff that's being moved around. I mean, for the most part, once you install it in the cab, it doesn't get moved around much. But and for you guys, it doesn't get moved around much once it's to you and you install it. But here on my end, they seem to get moved around a lot for shipping and packing, and so this all gotta go in here. And we put, I guess we put this isolator loop in here, and then this cable to connect the two goes in there, that in there, put an extra one in there for now. These are delicate. I want to make sure they're holding up. All right. You think, that's what I still need. Still need some screws for these bad boys. All right. So that's one thing we still need that I haven't made up, is a hardware kit for the sound. VGA cable, that's good. Sound kit, it's almost there. And then that's all of the cables that we need. So, gotta finish that sound kit by having some hardware. It's just 2 screws, but what those 2 screws are going to be, however, I don't know. One thing I do need, where are you? Bolt cutters. Got these screws, but they're just a tad too long. this. All right. Where are my baggies? I think those are all in the producer box. The box of stuff I give to producer. Here we go. All right. Need to make some labels for this, but hopefully you can figure this one out, Terry. If I don't get a label made for you before. There's that. Cables and all that. Let's actually put this bad boy in with that. There's our sound kit. Done. That is everything that goes into that box. Along with one of these that I already checked off the list, but that was because I already kind of packaged it up. That's everything that needs to go into that box. All right. So, before it can go into the box, though, we need to finish building the box. Which requires more fun. This is why I can't get these out as quickly as I had planned as well, because this is how long packing takes. Get the glue gun warming up. These are our side pieces. Yes. I gotta get the rest of our corner protectors. And what we need here is 4 of these that are going to get. Where'd our Sharpie go? Mr. Sharpie. Just had ya. Couldn't have gone far. It's right there. What's going on, chat? Let's see. Terry, jump up to. You ever seen his pass the puck in between a rank? That stuff. It's just cornercade nonsense. Is that the new sound controller? Yep. That was one I put into a box that I was going to send to you, but I didn't have time to make the label up yesterday. Well, I didn't have running late, and I had to get some stuff out in the mail, so I didn't have time to finish some of the things I was planning on shipping out yesterday. So it was one I put in a box for you, but now it's going to Terry, and I'll put a new one in a box for you later. I did. Thanks, Hockey Town, for filling them in. It is Terry's, a Popeye. So, all right. Now we got to cut these down. It's going to get a little loud for a second. Those are these. What we got here? Looks like the hot glue gun is ready for action. Except we got post hot glue let down. That. We double these guys up. What can we do here? Let's see. Let's change up your view. What do you say? Sound like a good idea? How's that work? Not that great, eh? What if we do this? I'm going to send you on Stock Jock. You're my beta tester, R&D partner. I need you to have the latest and greatest equipment so that we know this stuff works. Seems like I'm always on that side. Let's, I got 2 mounting lugs. Let's move you guys over. Maybe that'll get rid of that stupid little thing being in the way. It's 2 times today that we've tried to do a fun different little angle here, and the computer and mounting bracket have been in the way. Let's pull this down, that. Still not 100% helpful, but better than it was. I don't know. Doubling it up now, because they like to drag these bad boys. So put these plastic corner protectors on the inside and the outside. I think as James and a lot of the early guinea pig guys can attest, this is a lot more packing than we originally had going. And these guys get put in here. These are for the top. They get set aside. I cut down 2 more, 4 more. Should probably take another bite of this pizza because I keep forgetting. So producer and Corner Cage's efforts weren't in vain. That one's too big. I thought, oh, this is probably my template for the ones I just cut. Where? Nope. Not that one. Gotta share with Cal. Cal always gets the crust. That's the one we need. Now I need 4 of these. And we'll grab those from here. These guys. One in there. One there. Two for the end. And then to save myself a little bit headache, glue that guy in so he stays there. This guy in so he stays there. It's like a half a day event just to pack one of these up. Timing doesn't, numbers don't number. There. I guess while we got the going, we also can do our bottom corners. Can't do the top corners until we finally package everything up on the outside. Spin her around again. All right. That's the end of hot glue for now. Turn it off. Set it aside. All right. There's our box. What's going on now? They're both too busy playing the Switch right now and smack talking each other. They must have. I certainly hope they switched games because I can't imagine there's too much smack talking that could be required in Smurfs. Pretty sure they're supposed to be on the same team in Smurfs. If anything. Right. Got something poking me in the foot. Okay. Another bite of pizza, Cal. Another slice. We got to finish dinner or lunch before dinner time. That's a rule. Mario Kart. Sounds about right. Oh, and Lego. They're supposed to be on the same team on Lego Mario, or Marvels, too. I could see Mac talking in Mario Kart. Poor Wes. JoJo probably didn't turn on some of the auto controls for him. He's still a little bit of a button masher. He hasn't figured out you gotta hold some of the buttons down, like for gas. No pickle giveaway. I'd do a giveaway if I had the spinny tool or something to be able to do it. I got something I want to give away, I think. But we'll figure it out. We'll get there. Now, we got to start wrapping up some of our delicates. Delicates and scratchables, and not really necessarily scratchables, but stuff that has vinyl on it. Try to wrap up here. Just to keep it in a little better shape. Then we saran wrap, package, wrap it all to hold it together a little bit more. Keep it from shifting around. As far as I can tell, I did not get copyright struck from that last stream video that we did. I went back and listened to parts of it. Maybe it was because you couldn't really hear too much of the music. It was cutting in and out, but it was pretty muffled too. It seems like still YouTube is pretty good at pulling stuff out. Probably just didn't care because they only got 200 subs or something like that. So. That one's been sitting around collecting a little bit of shop dust, a little bit more than the others, so let's give it a little bit more of a scrub than the others. Alright. What's everybody else doing this Saturday? Saturday's almost over with, I guess, huh? Stock Jock's putting together a grill. Corner Cage making sure I'm getting food. Yeah, that's right. It wasn't mostly rat crap. It was mostly hip hop pop. Not hip hop. Pop? No. Gotta do what I gotta do, Stock Jock, to keep me pumped and energy going in the shop. Gotta get my Swift on. My Miley. Trying to remember what these ones go in. This is all still a learning process of remembering how this stuff best fits in. Kind of hard to keep a log or track of how this stuff's supposed to slip together as far as the Tetris puzzle of all the parts and pieces. got to get wrapped up still. That don't. Okay, this is my other piece that needs to go in between. So I got a few pieces that sandwich in between the panels. And Billy, you'll appreciate this if you're watching or end up watching this. Put some hot glue on all of these. Sorry about the headache that it caused you, but your struggles have probably saved so many others. I don't know. I don't know how it came out on you. Was that something that had to do with your doing, or did it arrive like that? I don't know. Yeah, you are. Yep. Who? Wait, did Wes? He is where was that? He told 12th place, but JoJo said he won 2. Wait, oh, that was nice of him. Yeah. Good to see JoJo's catching on. Like, we all play Mario Kart together, me and the boys, a lot. And JoJo's like, oh, Dad, you won again. And Wes is like, did I win? Did I win? And I tell him, oh, yeah, you won. Usually he does take 12. And when I tell Wes he won, JoJo's like, no, he didn't. He took 12. And like, he came in last. A lot of the time he's like, he came in last place. And Wes hears him and he starts crying because he came in last. Wes does not like losing. He doesn't like the idea that he's the littlest and youngest too, even at wrestling and stuff. I'm trying to explain to him, you're the littlest. It's going to be tougher and harder. You're doing a great job, but you're the smallest kid here. You're not even technically supposed to be wrestling yet. You're only 3 years old. He bawls his eyes out. But anyways, JoJo's always like arguing with me about it. He's like, no, he came in last. I'm like, no, he didn't. He won. He was like, no, he didn't. He came in last. It's good to know when I'm not there, he's kind of looking out for his brother, trying to keep him happy. They're starting to get to the age where they're starting to play together all the time now and running around. And JoJo was trying to include him a lot in the past, but I think even it was difficult. But now they're starting to be a little inseparable. Which one is this? Okay, that's that one. It needs to go in. Is all this gonna... Trying to remember how this works. So these two, this and this, I think. So I gotta drop these in our cabs. In the cab's body bag. These will drop in here. Sorry I didn't bring you over here, but I'll be back soon. Don't you worry. Is that all the way down? Yep, yes so. This guy. And then this guy. And then this gets folded over. And we come back over. You can lay down in your bed. I'll watch out for you. I won't step on you. Just about to lay down on his bed. Looks like producer brought out another thicker blanket and stuff for him. Is this all the way down? Yep. what big brothers are for, to keep his younger brother humble. Yeah, it's the truth. That is the truth. We were at wrestling, and JoJo was wrestling him and pinned him, and Wes was so upset. But he did actually a few times was going easy on Wes and letting him pin him so that he could be like, "Oh, you pinned me, Wes. See, you pinned me." Kid does not understand that. It's supposed to be for, I think, 5 and up is the age when they start. Wes is only 3. He's not that big of a kid either. For a while there, he was the only one out on the mat running around in a pull-up, peeking out of his back of his gym shorts. It's the cutest thing seeing him running around with all those bigger kids and stuff, even warming up, running around in circles and shuffling. And but lately he's actually been getting into wrestling with them too, because there's been a few times that been an odd number of kids and somebody needs a partner. There is one kid that's pretty small there that we end up sometimes matching Wes up with, and he doesn't like losing. He's gotten bumps and hurt a couple times, but shakes it off. Now we move into, thought we did, but one more step that I gotta do. I think as long as I still have some of these, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about this. I'm getting low. These were something I grabbed from the recycling bin at my other brother-in-law's. Work. And I don't know what I'm going to do once I run out. Now, I've been using these big panels. I don't necessarily need them as fancy as this, but this is actually like a fancy cardboard. They do a lot of automotive products at his work. And so these were scrap, I guess, but they have like a wax type finish on them. So it's like an anti-scratch type thing, which is kind of nice. But I've been using them kind of for that, but also for put a big square down first, because I worry about anybody opening up the box with a knife and slicing right through their side panel. Even though I do put these on the bottom of the box. I saw even Israel, like some sort of savage, opened his box from the bottom. Who does that? There's a top and a bottom to boxes. There's also a front and a back to toilet paper. There's one way to put them on. And that's over the top. All right, we got that cut down. Now we can slip. Slip this in there. Come on. What's going on? Where you at? Why are you not slipping? You're supposed to slip. Just slip, go in your home. Don't be too good for your home. That's the other struggle. This is like the biggest I can get boxes in. And it is tight. Sometimes it seems like it's tighter than others. Why? I usually have a little bit of space. That's why I think. Come on. There you go. Get in there. All right. Then, so that one's protected against you guys. And we do one more to protect it against UPS and shuffling, so that we can put other panels on top of it. And Bob's your uncle. Got it. Oh. Let's check. I thought I heard the mail get dropped off this time. No? Dang it. She running behind? She can't be running that far behind today. Although it was about that yesterday. I dropped off packages 3:30. She was just coming by my house. Half the time he's here, the regular guy's here before I wake up. You got the Bears game tonight. What time is that on? They're not playing yet, are they? Oh, it's being delivered by Amazon. It's out by delivery, and it's saying between 5 and 9 p.m. So, all right. What we got? Exactly. They do, Stock Jock. They're heathen savages, barbarians, opening boxes with knives, and that's one thing, opening them with knives, but open them from the bottom up. That's just asking for trouble. All right, let's see. There. The next items on the list are wrapping up this coin door. It's got to be broken. Still says there's 11 of you crazy guys watching this. It's been holding strong at 11. 2.5 hours into this second stream. 3.5 hours. You guys don't. What are you guys doing? Why are you still here? Can't be that fascinating, can it? maybe. Marquee stuff. All right, I put it in the instructions, but a word on the marquee. These are our marquees. There's two pieces. One's your back, one's your front. And then you got your artwork that goes in between. You can put Sticker Smiths or who's ever in between and subbed it out for mine. But backer holds it in place. If you use mine, I only have the ability to print 17 inches. So I include these little bars that you can put to cover up that space and for the light bleed and stuff like that on the edges. So peel these off and stick them down up against the cab if you decide to use mine. I only include it because it's a pain in the butt to put the whole cab together and to pull the marquee out again after it's together. If you don't have artwork, I figured it looks a lot better than this. So I'm doing these as a gift. That's why you're not getting them all the way across, because I'm doing the best with what I have available to do it cheap and to give people something to work with. So that's so you don't just have a white block there or have a empty space. So my gift to you, but if you use it, use these. If you got Sticker Smiths, use Sticker Smiths. Everything I hear everybody saying, his is great quality. And as a reminder, I stick them down on the corner so you guys know that they're kind of there and what they're kind of give you an idea what they're there for. Like I said, they're in the instructions too now. So there's that. Sounds like the boys have gotten tired of gaming, at least on the Switch. The Switch is in my bedroom, hooked up to the TV. That's where we play Switch, is in bed in the evenings on the weekend. I hear them in the game room though, so they've moved into my game room. Not sure what they're doing. I hear Wes crying. What's going on?
Wesley said that he can't play it.
Why did Wesley say he can't play the headset? And why is he crying that he said that?
Because Mama said I can play it, and she didn't say anything to me.
You can play it next, Wes. Okay? Let JoJo have a turn. Hey, let JoJo play. He's been asking about it, and you can play it after.
And I haven't played on it for a long time.
Alright, come on.
Come here. Hey, hold on. Let's show everybody your robot foot. Stop crying. We don't want people to see you crying on the internet, right? They want to see tough Wes, not cry Wes. Check out his robot foot, guys. He's got this robot bionic foot that makes him faster, run quicker, jump higher, right? What else does it do? Is that it? I cover it all? Ooh.
Stop.
You going in too, Cal? It's his robot foot. I think it's interesting. It's a dog toy, like some sort of Nerf ball or something that Cal's had for years. But Wes has come up with the idea that it's his robot foot. He slips his foot into it, He's been wearing it around like the past like 3 or 4 days. Like even last night was sleepovers with Daddy, and he had it in bed with him on his foot. He fell asleep with it. Went to bed, fell asleep with it on his foot. He calls it his robot foot. So interesting. 8 p.m. tonight is the Bears game. Won't be seeing that, I guess. Unless you're talking about the wrestling. Real American Freestyle. That's our big event tonight. I should probably get off here because it's been a while. We've been streaming for 2.5 hours on this one, and it was over an hour on the last one. Try to get focused and pump out a bit more here before the day is done, and I gotta cut it out a little bit early so I can make myself some chicken wings for the big wrestling matches and stuff tonight. But I won't be taking the entire night off. The plan is to put instruction manuals together. I got boxes of sound kits, the new soundboards, and I got a pile of mounts and stuff 3D printed. So probably put those out on the coffee table in front of me and be piecing them together and working while watching the event. And they, if you get them and they're a little greasy, it's because they had a little chicken wing grease on them. Sorry, but I'll try to keep the chicken grease, the hot wing grease, to a minimum. Bears game at 8. Yeah, I thought so. I think my dad said he was going to be watching the Bears and Packers. It's Packers playing tonight, right? And the Bears for the wild card. He was going to probably be watching that because he wasn't going to get the wrestling match, but we've been talking about it for a little while. He said he didn't like the idea of even doing the free trial for the Fox Nation because I think he was worried about forgetting to cancel it. It's one of those ones too. I found out last night. I signed up for it to do the 7-day free trial, and then I immediately went in and went to try to figure out how to cancel my plan, but it wouldn't let you. It said you'd immediately lose access. So probably end up canceling it tomorrow sometime because that's the only thing I really wanted to watch on it. So, but I don't want to forget and then end up having it. I'll just, after this, pay every time they have an event. I think it's only like $8 or something a month, so cheaper than paying pay-per-view or something. So they have them like quarterly. I would end up subscribing. They're talking about having 2-hour weekly matches and stuff broadcasts on there too. So if they end up doing that, then maybe I'll do a monthly subscription. Can't quit yet. If you quit, then I have to go out and clean up all my grill mat. It's going to be getting dark soon. You got to clean that up before it gets dark. Zach. You could jump on the stream with me if you wanted to. Same link. I think it stays the same because they're like told me never to share it out with anybody that I don't trust. So they said they listed a few people on there. Cornercade was one of them. I don't know how Streamlab knew who Cornercade was, but apparently they do. He's on their blacklist. What do you think? We can call it a night, I think. At least for streaming. I got some more work to do. We're going to get most of all the pieces wrapped up. I got to saran wrap them and lock them down nice and tight. Get Terry's stuff in there. Get another one at least done tomorrow, and those risers packed up tomorrow. So got a bunch of parts to put on the CNC too. So the nice part is the CNCs will run while I'm working. 3D printer runs while I'm working or not working. I don't see Sock Jock chiming in that he wants to join in, so, which is good because I got stuff to do. I want to eat my chicken. Well, I gotta finish lunch before I get to dinner. But anyways, guys, I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. It's been fun chit-chatting. Hopefully you guys, some people enjoyed this. Apparently you did. I'm not holding you hostage, I don't think. I guess maybe some people are forced to watch things on the internet from what it seems, as much as some people like to complain about other people and their streams and stuff. Apparently you have to watch people. But guys, don't feel required or forced that you have to watch me. If you enjoy this stuff and want to watch it, that's great. I know I'm not the most exciting person. I might be annoying to some people. Sound of my voice might annoy them. My lack of emphasis and my monotoneness might be rough for some people. I don't know. But you don't have to watch. Those are things I can't change. So I apologize. But hopefully for some people, they enjoy this content. I'm going to keep hanging out. I don't have time to edit and stuff, so live streaming is what you guys are going to get for right now. And yeah, hopefully you see some stuff maybe is helpful, or you just enjoy hanging out in the chat. I try not to stream when other people are streaming, because their stuff's probably way more better and interesting than my own stuff. So try not to stream over anybody else, but fill in the voids in the quiet time, give you guys something to do, hang out with each other. Always feel willing and happy to come in here and chat with each other. Don't even have to chat with me. I like how there's some conversations going on in here. It's kind of why I've been starting to do this too, because it seems like, community likes hanging out with each other and chit-chatting. So give you guys something to do when you're sitting around and don't want to pick up your messes from out in the yard and earlier. Hockey Town, hope you get feeling better, buddy. Hope everything goes well with the lungs and the biopsy and stuff like that here and there when I can, and keep you guys a little bit up to date on progress. But if it slows me down too much, we might cut it down a bit, because like I said, I got a lot of work ahead of me and a lot of stuff still to get out and taken care of, so before the end of the month. But appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out, and